Okay, and we are back for Thursday Thunder. So, one thing I have had to do is I've had to end off camera the feud between DDP and Kevin Nash and Lex Luger and Buff Bagwell. The reason being, there was no way I could end the feud without Lex Luger being available. He's currently in rehab, so I had to end the feud off camera. Unfortunately, Lex Luger and Buff Bagwell have both lost overness from it. Not too fussed about Lex Luger, but with Buff Bagwell, it's not great. In fact, I think all four guys have lost some overness from it. But in that situation, there was nothing really I could do. I couldn't stick them in any other feuds without doing that. So I'm currently deciding what to do with them. I've decided not to sign anyone yet. I want to be safe than sorry. It's better to be safe than sorry because I don't want to mess up the finances at this stage. I've sent out a promo tape, and we're also starting two new feuds. Dustin Rhodes has finished his feud with Rick Steiner. The logical choice, he's over at the moment. So's Jeff Jarrett. Stick them both together, get them feuding for the US title, and I think it's going to be one of the biggest storylines in the company at the moment. The other one, as you will see, Billy Kidman is going to lose his Cruiserweight title to Alex Wright. Rey Mysterio is going to lose his TV title to Shane Douglas. Both of these are because Chuck Palumbo in this match and Sean O'Haire in this match come in and they help the opponents of Kidman and Mysterio to beat them. This is going to lead to a feud for the tag titles between Kidman and Mysterio for Filthy Animals against O'Haire and Palumbo. So that is the plan there. Greed is only in about for pay-per-view. Greed is only less than a couple of weeks away. So we'll go back to the start of the show. Just a good cruiserweight opener between two guys who haven't featured much. Chris Candido is going to beat Corporal Cajun. Ric Flair and Booker T are both going to have interviews. Hyping up the feud between those two. Jindrak, who was the only wrestler who didn't feature last month, other than David Flair, and for guys who are injured or in rehab, he is teaming up with Sean Stasiak from the Natural Born Thrillers, and they are going to beat Norman Smiley and Stevie Ray. Jeff Jarrett and Dustin Rhodes have their interview slots. Sting has his interview slot. Again, telling Steiner he can't keep running away from him. Scott Steiner's going to prove again that he's better than Goldberg by beating him. Goldberg requested another match. He's just going to retain his title. It'll make Steiner look stronger. So let's start the show. That is actually a very good opener. Better rating than I expected. Ric Flair, look at that. He's retiring in a month, 100%. We're not going to get another guy like him, but in feuding with Sting has taken Sting right to the top of the company, and hopefully it'll do the same for Booker T. So he's still got a very important role to play. This match didn't get a fantastic rating, which is okay. Jeff Jarrett, that went down well. Billy Kidman, Alex Wright went down okay. The fans aren't going to be that up for that, but I think when Kidman and Mysterio start feuding with O'Haire and Palumbo, they'll start to see why. It's happened tonight. Okay, Dustin Rhodes, that went down well. Same with Mysterio Douglas, and Douglas has got a big part to play, so this will open up a whole window of opportunities for him. Sting, these segments are going down on fire tonight. Dusty Rhodes against Sid Vicious. Dusty Rhodes is going to win via disqualification. These two started a feud. Booker T, that went down well. Goldberg Steiner, good rating. Didn't expect it to be high match quality. And look at that. That is the joint highest overall rating we've had, along with Super Brawl Revenge last month. And I think that is the first segment that's ever gotten 100%. And I don't think it's any coincidence that this is Ric Flair's first interview since announcing his retirement. So, yeah, a good Thursday Thunder, good show, and we've started 2 new feuds. I think we need to get a few more feuds starting before the Greed event, because fans always enjoy a match better if there's a bit of a story behind it. Wow, look at that. We are not far behind at all. 5.1 for Thunder, 5.85 for SmackDown. We are closing in on them. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Is there going to be... This is going to be the Heat rating. That's it. That's okay. Fantastic. So, if you look at these 3 main feuds, they are... I mean, Booker T, Ric Flair, the fans are really up for that. There's so much heat surrounding that. Filthy Animals and O'Haire and Palumbo only started since for Filthy Animals losses for the loss of the titles last show. They've not actually done anything with O'Haire and Palumbo yet, so it's got 73. That will go up, I'm sure, before Greed. Steiner Sting, they've not actually been in the ring together since the last pay-per-view midway through last month, so that's really getting some heat. And you look at Sting, he's had four other wins. They're interviews. Steiner's had 1 cheat win, that was at the pay-per-view. So we'll have a quick look to see if we have any news here. The Street is at a steady state, looking at the stats, blah blah blah. Ric Flair will be retiring Jimmy Hart. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Maybe it would be time to open a development territory, but I'm still, a bit... Oh, wow. Okay, we have got some news here. Goldberg is at 39% morale. Right, we need to stick him in a feud. We need to get his morale up, because that is not good. He's one of the top guys in the company. And I'll bring more news on that next. It was very difficult because there were more options. If I keeping Scott Steiner as a world champion kept a load more options open than making Goldberg world champion, because Goldberg's typically in squash matches. He doesn't like losing much, so having him take a few losses wouldn't have looked good for his character. And the top heels in the company at that time were Ric Flair and Scott Steiner. Well, Scott Steiner had just feuded with him, and I didn't want to stick Ric Flair in a feud with Goldberg. It's a bit of a mismatch, and I didn't want Ric Flair feuding for the world title. Then you go down to Jeff Jarrett, who's not at that moment not a main eventer, so there wasn't really much to do with Goldberg unless I turned him into a heel, which in real life was a disaster, or I turned for likes of... I guess I could have him feuding with another face, but I wanted to play it safe, and I wanted to keep the belt on Steiner. So yeah, we'll try and sort Goldberg out, but I'll leave that episode here, and I will bring you up to date on the next episode of Nitro.